So this week, rather than going over any movie news, what I thought we'd do, as we've just been talking about the Young Girls of Rochford, is do our top 5 musicals. You into that?
Let's do it. Brilliant.
Let's do it. Okay, so this is something we do here on our YouTube channel from time to time, our top 5 of films in any given loose genre or category. So this is our top 5 musicals. Let's start at the top and work our way down to number 1. So at number 5, let's take away the doors. I have gone for Oliver.
And I've gone with Hairspray from 2007.
So Oliver, obviously a bit of a classic from back in the day, based on Oliver Twist, Charles Dickens novel. Got some great songs in this one. I remember growing up, consider yourself our mate. We don't want to make a fuss. All of that. Great stuff. Got to pick a bucket or two, boys. Got to pick a bucket or two. What was that as well? Who will buy these beautiful roses? It's got some great ones in there. Haven't seen it for years, to be honest with you, but I remember really enjoying it as a kid.
My favourite song was that, what's that? The Situation. But at the end where he leaves, great film, great classic from childhood.
Classic musical. Got some real bangers in there. A lot of fun. Obviously, you've got Oliver Reed in there as Bill Sikes. Terribly scary performance from him.
Absolutely.
Frightened the hell out of most kids, I think. Just his face.
Yeah, great choice. I didn't come into my mind actually when doing it, but excellent choice. I've always loved Oliver.
So Hairspray 2007. Pray tell.
Yeah,
what's it all about?
Hairspray. Great cast: John Travolta, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, Zac Efron. This is the most modern one I've got on my list. Most modern musicals don't do it for me.
No.
Although I love High School Musical, but that's a separate one.
You had to squeeze it in there,
but it's not. But it's not in my list. I must say, High School Musical. But I put Hairspray in there because it's one I really do enjoy. I thought it was one of the better modern musicals. It's got the stars in there. Travolta's back. Christopher Walken's great in there.
He's a good dancer, Walken, isn't he?
He is. He's fantastic bloody dancer.
I don't know if he's got a good singing voice, but he's definitely a good dancer.
Zac Efron, of course, is in this. This is one of his big. I think this is probably the last kind of musical role he did. He didn't, because he tried to then become more of a serious actor, hasn't he?
Can't blame him. Let's get straight on with it to number 4. I had Little Shop of Horrors,
and I had Grease. It's the word.
Little Shop of Horrors, brilliant, fun. Rick Moranis, Steve Martin. Got some great songs in there. Suddenly Seymour, all of that stuff. You got The Huge Plan. I think it was based on a stage musical, and they sort of converted it to the film version. Definitely one of my favorites. Got that sort of dark edge to it, the whole idea of him. It's a bit like Sweeney Todd, really, in the sense that he's like offing people and feeding them to the plant, and it gets a bit out of hand, as these things often do. Do you like Little Shop of Horrors?
Love it, love it. Classic, isn't it? Classic 80s. It's a bit different, isn't it, as a musical, because it's a darker, kind of satirical horror one. Of course, I went with Grease, which is just a
classic.
Standard classic. Everyone knows Grease. Everyone knows everything about Grease. If you don't, you've been living under a rock. But it's classic campy affair, isn't it? Set in 50s America. 2 lovers basically wanting to get together, but there's all this distance between them. There's the girls and the guys, and all the controversy that goes on throughout the film, etc.
Yeah, she's kind of a square, and he's a bit of a rocker. It's all about peer pressure and stuff like that, I suppose, isn't it?
That's it. But classic. Everybody loves it. Everyone loves the songs.
That's
Timeless.
The thing about Grease. The music, it's just absolutely amazing. Some really great writing in there. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll move on to our number 3 selections, because for my number 3 choice was Grease.
And I went with Half a Sixpence from 1967.
So yeah, as you've just said, Grease is his classic. I grew up watching it. It was one of those films from very early age. We had it on videotape. Me and my sister and my cousin and that, we used to watch it to death. We knew all the dance routines and the songs and sing along with it, dance along with it. You can't beat Grease. It's one of those. It's like a mainstay. Loved it.
Absolutely. Half a Sixpence. Well, that's just one of them. As a kid, I remember watching it and being mesmerised by it. I love the musical numbers. Tommy Steele, of course, and Julia Foster. British musical, which makes it unique because there's not too many of them.
No.
But, it's kind of set in oldie England. He falls in love with this girl and it's all about their relationship and them getting married, etc. But some classic numbers in there from Tommy Steele at the height of his powers, I guess, and popularity, with Half a Sixpence and Flashbang Wallop, What a Picture, and all those little classics in there. Great, just a great film. It was always on the telly. I made it on tape and I just watched it all the time.
Okay, so for our number 2 picks, we're getting closer now. I had West Side Story, the 1961 version, of course.
I could have guessed that you had that in there. Rocky Horror Picture Show is what I've gone for from 1975.
Okay. Well, West Side Story, we covered this just a couple of podcast episodes back where we compared and contrasted to the new Steven Spielberg film. We also have a couple of articles up on the website, West Side Story themed. So we'll link all that stuff in the description below for West Side Story fans. But yeah, I mean, we've already gone over this a few times. I don't need to say too much about it. It's one of the greatest musicals of all time. The music alone, Leonard Bernstein, Stephen Sondheim, is phenomenal. The choreography by Jerome Robbins, phenomenal. Great performances. You got Natalie Wood in there. George Chakiris, who we were just talking about, made an appearance in The Young Girls of Rochford. So, yeah, just one of the best ever.
Certainly is.
Can't believe I didn't have it at number 1, but I didn't.
So it is a smashing film. It is one of the best. As we say, we've talked about it a lot. It's so great, and go check out us talking about it. Basically, it's what we would recommend.
Pretty much.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Well, it's a cult classic these days. Richard O'Brien, Tim Curry, one of my favourites ever. Meatloaf, of course, in there. Susan Sarandon. It's a brilliant, over the top, campy, ridiculous musical, but the kind of eccentricity of it and all the ridiculous stuff that happens in there, it's so over the top and controversial. It's brilliant, and all the songs are so sing-alongable and catchy. It's just great fun to keep on going back to.
Okay, that leads us to our top spots. Dun, 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 dun. Our number 1 spots, I have gone for the Blues Brothers.
Oh, classic. I've gone with Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge. Well, yeah, Blues Brothers, I mean, it's not your typical musical, but a musical all the same.
Absolutely.
The story of Jake and Elwood Blues. One of them just gets out of prison. Then they decide to get their band back together to save their orphanage that they grew up in from becoming, ruined and closed. So that's basically the story of it, isn't it? But you've got such a wealth of great American music, blues and soul and R&B musicians in there. James Brown, John Lee Hooker, Aretha Franklin. They're all in there. It's absolutely brilliant film. They did make a sequel in year 2000, I think, Blues Brothers 2000 or something. Awful. Don't ever bother. I wouldn't. It's not good at all. Very good, no. But the original film, Cab Calloway, all of the guys in the band as well, really talented musicians. Lots of fun. If you love that sort of music as well. I mean, John Candy was in there as well as a cameo role. Even Steven Spielberg makes a cameo in this film. That's how great this is. But yeah, probably one of my favorite films of all time. Certainly my favorite musical of all time. Love the Blues Brothers.
Absolute classic. Great choice. Great pick. Yeah, I love Blues Brothers. Really, really one of my favorite films as well. I go on Moulin Rouge, a bit more of a modern one here as well. I kind of struggled with this list because there's so many different options I could have gone down, but I thought Moulin Rouge is one I keep on going back to. It's more of a jukebox musical. Baz Luhrmann, of course, who is doing the upcoming Elvis film. We reacted to that trailer not long ago.
Can't wait for that.
Can't wait for that. It's the last in his Red Curtain trilogy after Strictly Ballroom and Romeo and Juliet, which I really enjoy as well. But just a great, over-the-top musical about a guy who falls in love with a girl who's working at the Moulin Rouge, but he can't be with her or shouldn't be with her because she has promised away to someone else, and so desperately want to be in love, and then they do, but behind everyone's backs or stuff like that. Nicole Kidman, Ewan McGregor. In those two roles, who are fantastic actors anyway, and their voices match. Jim Broadbent has a really great role as well as kind of the owner the ringmaster of the Moulin Rouge as well. Yeah, he's fantastic, and just some great tunes in there that are written, and great famous pop songs that reimagined into montages or like Roxanne is El Tango de Roxanne in a really kind of vicious and intense scene in the ballroom and stuff. So it's really great fun, kind of pop culture jukeboxy musical.
Massive film when it came out, visually very, very striking. It's that classic Baz Luhrmann style we've come to know and love, isn't it? It's just real quality cinematography, costume design, set dressing, the rest of it. Really, really good. Great choice. But yeah, there we go. There's our top 5 musicals from both of us. Please leave us a comment and let us know your top 5 musicals or your favorite musical of all time, or comment on ours and tell us what we got wrong or what you liked about what we listed off there. What did we miss out? It's not a genre that I'm over familiar with, to be honest. We all have seen musicals. We all have our favorite types of musicals, but it's again a genre that we're still discovering a lot about, hence looking at Les Damoiselles de Rochefort, like we have this week, which was a very interesting exercise. But let us know in the comments, what's your favourite?
That's it for this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And remember to like, share and subscribe right here on YouTube. For more film reviews and articles, check out our website, moremovies.co.uk. And join us on social media at More Movies For You. That's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all across the board. You know the score. If you enjoy what we do, please consider supporting us at buymeacoffee.com or join us on one of our packages on Patreon. The links are in the description down below. And for more filmtastic content, click one of the buttons on screen now.